¿Qué onda? This is Hector Canales bringing you a quick retro review of the 1985 G.I. Joe Shipwreck by Hasbro. I've unboxed and reviewed Shipwreck version 2, but I don't know why it's taking me this long to review this Shipwreck, as Shipwreck is my favorite G.I. Joe. So much so that when I met Sergeant Slaughter, I actually asked him to please sign my figure to Shipwreck. Taking a look at the front of the card from top to bottom. This is probably one of the reasons why G.I. Joe was such a success, because this isn't just a card holding the figure, this is art. And talking about the art, here is Shipwreck looking like such a badass with his animal companion friend Polly. But oddly enough, he's not named Polly on the card, he's actually just named Parrot. And he's got his accessories right above him, and right below you've got that great action figure with swivel arm battle grip. And now looking at the back of the card, starting from the bottom to the top, we start off with that iconic file card telling us everything we need to know about the action figure we just bought. And moving on up, what's missing is flag point. The previous owner must have cut it out to send in for something real cool, but it's okay. Hey, take a look at all the figures, well, at least the art for all the figures that you can collect in this series. And because I also have it in my collection, let's take a look at the Japanese release of Shipwreck from 1986. Look at the front, basically the same art, but it does look pretty cool. It kind of has this Star Wars background behind Shipwreck. And on the back, I have no idea what this says, but I love the way they have all these figures kind of posed around like they're having a beach party. I also wanted to point out that I guess in Japan, G.I. Joe had this eagle symbol as their symbol to contrast the fact that Cobra had their own symbol. The American and Japanese release of the figure are the same, down to the accessories, except that the Japanese Shipwreck comes with a G.I. Joe sticker and what looks to be instructions. These figures are so much so the same that they've actually discolored a bit inside the card, the same way. But strangely, the Shipwreck that I have unboxed is in perfect condition with no discoloring. Even the Shipwreck that I use from time to time, basically my beat her up figure, hasn't discolored like the figures inside the package have. And here's the figure on its own with no accessories, and he looks pretty simple, especially since he's just blue, white, and black with a little bit of gold and red. Everything on this figure is, to me, it's done right. Small little details, especially all the creases on his shirt. But let's take a closer look at Shipwreck from top to bottom. So starting from his sailor hat, nice little detail right there, although there is missing paint on the back of his head. He's got a fantastic beard going. I love the way that they have blue colored rivets on his shoulders and skin colored rivets on his elbows, and his petty officer ranking on his right shoulder. To his tattoo, it looks to be a anchor with maybe a shark around it. And now his belt buckle, which has that gold paint that easily rubs off, and it seems to be rubbing off on this one. But the belt looks great. Got a back pocket, got side pockets. This peg he's got here, it already has some stress marks, and it looks like his thighs have discolored just a little bit. But he's got a holster there, and of course he's wearing his bell-bottom pants and his shoes. And now all his accessories, the percussion pistol, boarding hooks, and Parrot. Let's take a look at the percussion pistol. Nice rubbery plastic, which easily wraps around Shipwreck's arm without snapping off. In almost 40 years, it's still nice and flexible.
with some nice little detail on it. And his animal companion friend, Parrot, or Polly, has a lot of nice detail on it that you wouldn't notice at first glance. Look at his eyes. They actually took the time to paint his eyes blue. And the texture is really nice on Polly. And now his boarding hooks with 3/8 inch line. These are actually pretty long. Look at that. And it still has that nice resistance to it. So it's the hooks right here and the handle. And these boarding hooks are a great accessory, especially when you're a little kid and you like to tie things to everything and have your figures climb walls and stuff, especially if you have someone flying above you. Here's Hector with all his accessories, and this was prime G.I. Joe, at least to me, because the first couple of series kind of just had a bunch of almost green shirts, but now they started adding in more branches of military into the fold. Different looks, different styles, different personalities. And on a side note, all the details on Shipwreck's right arm appear on his left arm in the cartoon. I also unboxed this Shipwreck a couple of years ago, and although they had nearly 20 years to improve upon the original, they didn't. Instead, they took about 10-20 steps back, because this Shipwreck sucks. On my final analysis of the figure, Shipwreck is, was, and forever will be my favorite Joe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and come back soon as I'll be unboxing the Super 7 Shipwreck.
Nice bike. Maybe we could borrow it? No, that's stealing. I'll ask for permission later.
Uh-oh. Looks like you're asking for trouble now.
Shipwreck!
How would you like it if someone took your bike?
I wouldn't.
And if you get caught?
I'd definitely end up in trouble.
Remember, taking something that isn't yours just isn't right.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!